In this lesson, we're going to look at the volume of composite shapes again. This time, we're going to look at two shapes added together in the form of a triangular prism on top of a cuboid. Now, in order to do this, we have to break the shape up into two parts. Again, we can call it A and B like last time if you wanted to. This time I've went for 1 and 2. So I'm going to start with the top shape first. I've got to work out the volume of this shape here, then the volume of the one at the bottom, and then add them both together basically. So it's a combination of the last couple of lessons. So if you look at the top one first, it's a triangular prism. So the first thing I need to work out, like in the last lesson, is the area of the face part, which is this blue part here. So that's just half base times height again. So I've got half base times height. I need to think about what the base of the triangle is, and if I look down here, I can see the 4. So the 4 is just the base of the triangle, and I can see the height is 6 from this number at the side here. So it's a half times 4 times 6. Again, you can half the 4 to get 2. 2 6s are 12. You can also do 4 times 6 and then half the answer. So the volume of this blue part at the top, or this whole prism here, it's just the same formula as before, area times length. So we know the area of the face is 12. We have to think about how long the prism is, so it goes all the way along here. And if we look down here, we can see that's 3. So all the way along there is 3. So it's 12 times 3, and that will give you 36 centimeters cubed. Now we're not finished at that point. What we have to do is we have to work out the volume of the yellow part, which is a cuboid. So the volume of a cuboid is length times breadth times height. If we look at the yellow bit, we'll get 4 as the length, 3 is the breadth, and 5 is the height. So we're doing 5 times 4 times 3. It doesn't really matter what order you do it in. 5 4s are 20. 20 times 3 is 60 centimeters cubed. Again, this is quite a big question, so we're not quite finished yet. What we have to do is work out the total volume. Now I've highlighted the answer to question, or part 1, and the answer to part 2, so these are the ones I'm going to add together. 36 plus 60, and the total is 96 centimeters cubed. Okay, I'm going to look at a similar question, but slightly trickier. So if we look at this shape here, what we see is we've got a triangular prism again on top of a cuboid, except there's a missing part here. We've got this 17, but the 17 starts at the top and goes all the way to the bottom. So we've got this kind of part where we think, what is the height of the triangular prism? Oh, I'm not sure, so we have to work that one out. So we'll start the same way, okay? So the area of dealing with the blue shape first, the area of the triangle at the front is a half base times height. Now the base is 6, looking at the bottom. So we've got our 6 there. It's the height that we have to think about. So we've got half times 6. And then I'm going to think about what the height is. Now if I look at the 17, it goes all the way up and down. But if I look over here, I know the height of the yellow bit's 8. So I know from the bottom up to there is 8. I know the total's 17, so I think, what do I add to 8 to get to 17? And the answer to that is 9. So the height there is 9 just by doing 17 take away 8. And then I can continue with what I'm doing. I'm doing a half times 6 times 9. If you half the 6, you'll get 3. 3 9s are 27. Again, you can half 54 if you want, but I think that's easier to do that. Okay, we can now work out the volume of the triangular prism. So it's the same formula, area times length. So you just take your 27 and you times it by this part here, which is the length of the prism part. If I look down here, I see it's 4. So I'm doing 27 times 4, and that comes out to be 108 centimeters cubed. Now I've still to work out the yellow part. So the yellow part is a cuboid here, and that is the same as before, length times breadth times height. The length 6, 4 and 8 are the numbers I'm going to use. It doesn't really matter what order you use it in. And if you times all that together, you'll get 192 centimetres cubed. Now lastly, I need to add these two volumes together, the answer to part 2 and the answer to part 1. You could call it A and B if you want, and that will get you a final answer, 108 plus 192 of 300 centimetres cubed.